Good morning, Ms. Manzo.
Good morning. Thank you, Senator Dingra, and thank you, members of the committee. My name is Yessenia Manzo, and I am the Hate Crimes Prosecutor for King County Prosecuting Attorney's Office. I am here in support of Bill 5623, which seeks to change an element of the hate crime law and also to recategorize hate crime as a crime against a person. First, as to the change of the element of hate crime, we have seen these cases firsthand where we cannot pursue hate crime under the current law, despite victims being targeted because of their race and being assaulted. To give an example, there was a case where a Mexican woman was standing in line. She was standing in line at a business. She was just waiting. She was on the phone and she was speaking in Spanish. The defendant was also standing in line and became upset because she was speaking in Spanish, and without provocation, approached her, started to yell racial slurs at her, called her a wetback, told her to go back to her country. He escalated to the point where he spit in her face, and some of that spit landed in her eye. This criminal conduct should absolutely be considered a hate crime, but it is not under the current law. There is a hole in the legislature because subsection 1A of the statute requires physical injury, and instead it should require assaultive behavior. I am not supporting that the law be changed to include behavior that is not criminal conduct. I am supporting that the hate crime law be changed to include all assaultive behavior that is motivated by bias. Second, I support that hate crimes be recategorized as a crime against a person. Hate crimes being considered a crime against a person is not only a more accurate description of the crime, as Senator Dingra pointed out, but it also comes with 12 months of community custody where DOC can supervise offenders, emphasizing alternatives to incarceration. Most hate crime victims are absolutely supportive of alternatives to incarceration, and that includes community service, mental health treatment, substance use disorder treatment. Without this recategorization, there is no way for a prosecutor to ensure that the offender receives these types of treatment or completes their community service. To close, I do want to note that the number of hate crimes filed is not high. King County averages about 20 cases per year. Investing in these changes is a modest investment, but for victims, it is an empowering investment nonetheless. I am available to answer any questions, and I can answer Senator Torres' question.
Thank you, Ms. Manzo. Do you need her to ask the question again, or? Oh, go ahead. Go and ask your question again.
If you can.
Thank you, Chair. If you could clarify that on perception, I just want to make sure I understand that, just because it's on here and it seems more like a technical term, and how you can distinguish perception.
So just to be clear, this bill would not change that language. That language is already included in the law. The only part that this bill seeks to change is under prong 1A, removing physical injury and replacing that with assault. To answer your question about how perception is proven, it is actually very difficult to prove motive. That it is one of the reasons why proving hate crime beyond a reasonable doubt is difficult, is because we as prosecutors do have to prove motive. And the only way to do that really is through context. So each case is very case-by-case specific, and we have to use a lot of context, which is body language, words that are used, and sometimes what people have done in the past. If they have a pattern of this behavior, anything that can tell us or show us that the context shows that they were acting based on their perception of the victim's status or identity.
Thank you so much.